Hi everyone, this video will be part 3 of our creative strategy series. We'll be working with a brand called Ekster. We'll be sharing the ads that they're currently running in their ad library, what's working, what they can improve from the content that they've shared with us when we work together, what would we do differently, what do we think they should do more of, and this will all be from the perspective of a creative strategist / creative director. So if you have an internal team, I would highly suggest that you share this with them. This will be a very highly dense 15-minute video by Liam, who's a creative strategist and creative director, who's very well versed in the e-commerce / direct-to-consumer space. If you have a brand that you want to see, for example, your brand or somebody else's brand broken down from a creative strategy or a media buying perspective, comment down below and we will add that to the queue and make that next. This is going to be part 3 with Ekster. If you want to watch the previous videos, you can find that in the video library. And then if you want to wait for future videos, make sure to subscribe to the account. But hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name's Liam. I'm an editor / strategist for Creative Launch. This is another entry to our series where we go through our current and past clients' content and kind of just talk about how it could be leveraged better, what they're currently doing, how they can kind of take their winners and maximize their potential in the ad account. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Ekster Wallet. One of our editors had done an ad for them previously, and I helped do the strategy on that. So I'm just going to be kind of taking a look at their content and giving some insights on how I would use it. Just give a quick overview. Ekster Wallet is, their whole thing is they're kind of like a slim, minimalist wallet that's kind of like leveraged towards more like business professionals. Their unique selling feature is this button down here, which basically makes it easy to deploy your cards and then sort through them. I know that this is going to, from just looking at their content, this is like the unique selling point and also like the unique shot in the video that's going to get people's attention is this deploying feature. So let's just take a quick look at their ad account. I've already scrubbed through this, but they have a lot of successful formats, like kind of 3 reasons why here.
3 solid reasons to not buy an Ekster wallet. 1,
they got like social proof using comedians like Andrew Schultz.
Let's not even talk about the looks. Obviously, it looks great. It's going to be smooth.
And they just have little videos, kind of like problem to solution types of videos, being like just highlighting all the problems with like what a regular wallet is and how Ekster is going to fix that. We also have something like this, which is like a comparison view to like Ridge.
Let's talk wallets, Ridge versus Ekster. I've used both, and here's my review. Ridge is sleek, but
so I won't spend too much time going over these ads and like what they could do better because I think they utilize a lot of different formats and different like visuals, like the split grid with like the podcast speaker and like B-roll down here. So I think that's all really good. But the one thing I would improve is imbuing a kind of like sense of relatability into their ads. I feel like a lot of these feel a lot like advertisements, like don't show too much of like a talking head speaker, kind of just like a benefit comp going through like different like very high quality B-roll. It gives like a larger than life sense, and I think that could be toned back by using some like reaction footage. I know you guys have like a lot of content of people unboxing or like more people talking to their iPhone. I think that gets across a sense of relatability to some people. I'd like to dive more into how you guys can take winners like these. Obviously, I can't see the ad account, so I don't know how these are performing, but they're running, so I assume they're doing pretty well. But just how you can take winners and kind of milk those to get even more success from them. One idea I had for how to take a winner and kind of build off of it is by taking like one of your kind of ASMR videos, kind of like this right here. Just stuff that utilizes these like very satisfying noises. I know like this wallet has this like button here that makes like a satisfying card sound effect. I know that like stuff like that would do like really well on Instagram and TikTok. But taking a winner like that, since you know that performs, and pairing it with, for example, a kind of like soft-spoken story about losing a wallet or just at an airport or just some kind of captivating story about a person losing their wallet, and you overlay that audio over one of these ASMR videos, just like emphasizing the crisp mechanism clicks while you have this like kind of ASMR-esque voice kind of guiding the viewer through like a relatable situation of like losing their wallet, and then showing how they no longer have to deal with that anymore because the resolution was getting an Ekster wallet that has like great built-in tracking. A more in-depth example about kind of just how to maximize your content is by just taking certain variables of it and switching it out. So for example, we'll use like a premium mechanism reveal, which is just like a standard video talking about the benefits. Let's say you have a winner there and you want a variation of the hook. You could either do a question hook, being like, is this the most satisfying wallet you've ever owned? A benefit hook that immediately addresses like the button, for example. I think that's like a golden shot that could be used in the hook. People will see that and be like, what is that? That looks very satisfying. I want that. Or like a statement hook being like, this is what the future of wallets look like, or some social proof element, like 50,000 people have switched to this. Here's why you should. Or maybe the hook seems to be succeeding and you want to do a format variation. You could now remove like the dialogue and do more of an ASMR focus with the mechanism sounds. You could lean heavier onto the features, or you could just do like a little premium lifestyle, just showing like how this person goes about their day and how they carry everything on them with this wallet. Or maybe it's the visuals, the hook and dialogue, whatever body is solid. You just want to switch up the visuals, maybe show more close-ups, do more split screens that do comparisons between the wallet and a traditional wallet, or more like POV style, like here's a day in my life type of thing. I know that performs really well. The main thing you're trying to get out of this is really just finding the winning element of a certain format, like whether that's a benefit comp or a single person story. You're just trying to figure out what kind of hook works with that, what kind of visuals work, what kind of just like format, whether that's comparison, ASMR focus, feature showcase, whatever. You now have a blueprint to use when you're going to make ads in that category. So I'm just gonna quickly do an overview of the content that we have for Ekster. I think we had like a lot of it, like hours and hours, but we kind of slimmed it down to like an hour and a half of content that we found was very usable. And here there's just a lot of like testimonials of people talking like in common settings, like a car in their living room. I think stuff like this could be leveraged more. To give like an immediate example here is, I know you guys like to pair like these like popular comedians like Andrew Schultz with like some like B-roll. Personally, from like advertising, like this definitely works for people, but sometimes when I see like a famous podcaster talking about a product, I'm immediately like, well, they're being paid, like I don't really want to listen to them. But if you like paired like B-roll like that on the bottom there with like a common speaker like this seems just like your average consumer, then I might be more inclined to listen. Another thing that there is a lot of is like shots like this,
Little storage, and it has really quick.
that kind of just like show off that button feature. I think you could make really like a series of ads that are just focused on that satisfying little features, the hook, just like maybe like 6 to 7 shots of that, and then you quickly go into the benefit. That's a way you could just quickly turn around some content into a different format. Something that you guys are already utilizing, but I think could be utilized even further, is like a problem solution format. So yeah, just like leveraging more of that content, and I can give kind of like more specific examples here with this. I just took some of Ekster's content and started to play around with what they could look like in different ad formats, starting off with like a problem solution. You could start with like a hook, tired of bulky wallets, introducing the slimmest smart wallet ever. So right there, you're reaching out to an audience and you're immediately providing like what the product solution is. The structure could be like, again, just quickly emphasizing we already know traditional wallets are bulky and disorganized, just like showing visuals of very like heavy wallets, and then kind of showing the solution here, which is Ekster Slim with instant card access and tracking. Just kind of showing users like, hey, this is a problem that I relate to. Look how like simple these people's lives are now that they've switched to Ekster. That way you could use like real user testimonials, kind of like what I was talking about, just showing like real impact on people's lives. I think that's the best thing you can do with your content. Or like a 3 reasons why format, which I know you guys used a lot of too. Kind could leverage this more as like 3 reasons why traditional wallets are history. Someone will see that and be like, oh, like, am I behind the times? Like, is what I'm using outdated? Now you can like combine some like social proof elements to show that like everyone is switching to this. Why thousands are switching to smart wallets, showing where that like quick access technology is a reason. Never losing your wallet with the tracking integration. Another idea is leveraging your content in more of a social proof format. Starting off with like a hook, just saying like why all these people switch to the world's smartest wallet. Maybe you should like a 9-grid or something of like everybody using the wallet. And then you can kind of target like 3 different target audiences per se. We'll have like the tech enthusiasts, just showing how like that's improved their life. Then you have like the minimalist, the person that's just trying to get out the door and with like the simplest solution. And then you have the frequent traveler, maybe emphasizing like when I used to travel, I used to always lose my wallet, but now this is just sleek and very portable. I'm never worrying about that. And then just like leveraging it as like you're joining the smart wallet movement, kind of like creating FOMO for your audience so that they like won't want to miss out on this opportunity. So now I just want to show some examples about how we took other brands' content and kind of forced them into specific formats. This is a brand that does custom paintings for people. And we wanted to put it in a options format that shows off like the different materials you can use and like artists you can choose from. So I'll just show a quick snippet of this and then explain that. And then another thing we do a lot is take like a single speaker, like this guy, this was all from one video, and apply B-roll and any other like attention capturing elements to give the kind of like speaker's dialogue more pizzazz, more attention capturing elements. So I'll display that real quick.
You have an Apple Watch? Check this out. These are the most comfortable Apple Watch bands ever made. It's made from a stretchy knit material that gets more soft and stretchy every time you put it on. It literally feels like it disappears on my wrist. I can pull this thing on and pull it off just like that quick. I can do anything in this band.
So yeah, you get the gist there. It's just a very natural sounding speaker, and then having him like kind of go through the benefits here, and then just showing like social proof elements like 6 grids to 9 grids, or showing like a comparison view here, just taking, I guess, the core of what that speaker is saying and then putting that on screen. You guys have like tons of testimonials from speakers that I think like bring up really good points. Maybe you take something like where your best script is and then put your best B-roll in it and then create a great performing ad. So now I just want to go over some quick concepts I came up with that Ekster could easily make. First, I'll go over the ones that you could, just take your existing content and reformat it into these. So this first one, I kind of already touched on this, but this would be a satisfying solution series, kind of just leveraging that like successful ASMR video with more of a story about how someone lost their wallet, but then they found Ekster. That way you're just combining 2 proven formats, ASMR, testimonial. We know those both work. You're giving them like kind of like a dual sensory appeal, like the audio story that's engaging, but then there's also like the visual satisfaction with all like the mechanism sounds. This creates like an emotional connection while also showcasing features. And then here we have situational series targeting like real life moments. I was thinking this could be like a compare and contrast moment with like, here's what my life looks like with an Ekster wallet in like high friction scenarios, like a TSA line, business dinner, crowded bar. And then it shows that like stark difference between someone with a traditional wallet and an Ekster wallet. You just want to create that like, that could be me moment, because I think so many people just deal with incessant just like bothers every day that they're not really thinking about. They're not thinking if there's another solution out there. This ad could like bring them to that solution. This would be like a modern versus traditional wallet series. What I'm thinking here is kind of going into like the expectations versus reality trend. You could do this with like your wallet, showing like here were all the expectations for when I bought a wallet. Here's the reality. You're leveraging that Ekster is the expectation and that expectation actually exists. You just want to like demonstrate its value without complex explanation, just by showing how it makes people's lives easier. You could leverage like different testimonials from people. I think this would be an angle that you could take and then kind of milk further by like experimenting on the comparison angles, like what pain points you're hitting on for a traditional wallet and how Ekster solves those solutions. I think you could do a lot here. Now, I'm just going to talk quickly about like 2 experimental concepts I came up with. These would require like additional footage, and you guys could use it in a like future campaign maybe. So this would be called the EDC challenge series, and EDC just stands for everyday carry. But this would be like a 7-day documentarian style video that shows what happens when like 3 different types of people switch to an Ekster wallet and how like much easier their life became. So you could follow like 3 different types of professionals. You have creative, business, and then like active fitness trainer / athlete. There could be like certain kinds of check-ins, just like tracking metrics on like space saved or time saved, organization improvements. I think this could be something easy to shoot. Could be done in 1 week. You would just give this task to like 3 different people. Could be shot on iPhone for like authenticity, kind of just like a day in their life. People just like mentioning like, wow, this used to be such a bother when I had my old wallet, but now I never think about it because of my Ekster wallet. Yeah, that's about all I have. Just some closing thoughts though, is that I think Ekster has already been making great use of their content. What they could really be doing is just taking those winners and further milking them by providing more relatability in them, using more like common speakers, just trying to make the product expand to more of a wide audience. I think that's something that Ridge doesn't do very well, where they appeal to kind of like a higher class audience. I don't really get that from Ekster, but I think the content could play more into the common person, and I'd be happy to further discuss that with you guys. But yeah, I hope you found something valuable in this video, and thanks for watching.